Hello guys, it's Evgeny again from Buffalo Driver Training, and it's one of those videos for owner operators that we're doing at our new initiative to teach the Ukrainians and where we're coming and speaking the language that we speak, everything about trucking industry, how to open a company, how to buy a truck, how to maintain a truck, and what to do in the industry. Here with me, Christian and Brent.
Hello, hello. From Connexion Western Star or Connexion Truck Center. We're located on 440 Oak Point Highway. We are the Western Star dealership, and we recently just purchased a Freightliner flag out in Thunder Bay and Dryden as well. And this is Brent with me as well.
Brent here, and I'm the Director Finance Manager, so can certainly help you guys and assist in getting yourselves into a truck, what a payment looks like, what are some structures, what are different things we can do, and that'll go back to how you can look at planning and preparing what that looks like.
Okay, and I suggested that we'll speak in English here, and I'll, I guess, put some subtitles and voiceover. It's going to be my voice over yours.
Very nice, very nice. And thank you very much again, Evgeny, for doing this. We greatly appreciate it, Connexion Truck Center. We have a great partnership with Buffalo Driver Training School, and we just want to say thank you very much.
Yeah.
No problem. It's always welcome. So right now we're in our studio here at Buffalo, but we'll make a couple of videos. We'll go through the centers there at Connexion and introduce. And I know there is some other workers that actually speaking Ukrainian and chat with Ken, the owner.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Make some introduction videos. Okay, so we'll start with the questions. We can go even over the questions that people sending. I guess it's gonna be in the future after our video. But I know what they're asking first. So let's say simple question. They got a license in Buffalo. They're driving already for half a year. The company is saying, okay, you can be owner operator if you're asking. If you really want to buy a truck, we'll keep you on the same run. First step, he's coming to you. What he need to do?
If a guy is looking for a truck or looking to become an owner operator, he could come see us in sales. I'm in the sales department myself, actually. And from there, I guess we could look for the truck that would fit his specific needs. Depending what he's hauling, what kind of application he's doing, we could help him find either a used or a new truck from that point on.
Okay, now he's finding a truck. We can talk about certain trucks specifically, like what used or new, but from a standpoint of financing, I guess it's going to be more to Brent. He finding a truck with Christian. Let's say at the beginning it will be used. One of those international.
Absolutely. So keep in mind, whoever he drives for has different needs and specifications that they're looking for in the truck. You often see with mega fleets, they have certain requirements that they want their owner operators with. They want different features behind the trucks. And same with, medium sized fleets. When you get to smaller size fleets, a little more flexible. There's a lot more you can do, but you got to be prepared on when they come to Christian, what are those requirements and those needs that those large and mega fleets have in their trucks? Because a lot of times they want so many kilometers, miles on those trucks. They want to make sure that there's some sort of maintenance schedule going on those trucks.
Or not older than a certain year.
That's correct. Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And I'll also be able to help them in that as well. If they're not 100% sure what they need for what they're going to be operating that vehicle in, I'm also there to help as well too.
If it's a flat deck fleet, you can install the headache rack.
Correct.
We can help them with whatever they need. Yeah. We're there for them.
So let's say we're talking about one of those internationals that you have still, I guess, available there on the yard.
Yeah.
Used one, because new ones you're selling the Western Stars, but there is few used ones and
Freightliner soon.
Okay. But let's say international, you have for, let's say, somewhere around 100,000 or 90,000. They all 2-year-old, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he deciding to choose from that truck instead of buying right away for 240 or whatever the brand new. I'll buy for 100, 2-year-old, not bad. Not so risky, not so scary.
Yeah.
Guide me through the financial situation. What he need to do there?
Based on a new owner operator, there's a lot of requirements from different banks. They want to see you being an owner operator for so long, or a driver for at least 2 to 3 years. It's very important to be either a driver, have some experience in the driving before they become an owner operator. Once they become an owner operator, they just want to see cash in the bank. Some lending institutions want, a minimum of $20,000 to $30,000 as a balance in their bank accounts. And then you've got different lenders that will provide different terms, and then you've got different lenders that will provide different down payment options. A lot of times it's fair to say that there's a minimum requirement of 10% down. I've seen cases where it can go up to 20%, depending on, obviously, on approved credit, character of the application. Multiple lenders that can do 10% down. And then what we do is we structure it according based on mileage and term. And then once we kind of have an understanding of what payment we're going to trying to get to, what's affordable from an owner-operator perspective, how do we set that owner-operator for success, then we start to package it up properly and put a payment in place, get the wheels turning, and then hopefully in time we set them up so that once they start making more money, we can position it so that they can get into new down the road.
So right away, question, can they do it? Because most of them on an open work permit. Is it a possibility to get...
Yes, you can if you have a contract in place. What ends up happening is if they can prove and show that they have a contract with that existing fleet as an owner-operator, a lot of times they can match the term of their contract to the term of the finance commitment.
So let's say they're buying a used truck and financing that 100,000 over 2 years or something.
2 to 3 years, yeah.
If not, they need to be at least a permanent resident. You're checking the social insurance.
Driver's license is a lot of times all you need. Obviously, if you got your class 1, class 3, you're going to have your driver's license. That's really, for the most part, it's the SIN number, social insurance is optional. So you don't always have to provide it, but for the most part, you have to provide a valid driver's license, yes.
Valid license, we're talking about people that are going to get half a year, 1 year experience after finishing school here.
Okay.
So they will have a driver license, but SIN is maybe will be starting from 9. And I know some banks sometimes looking at that and right away understand that, okay, this is not a permanent resident yet.
Right. Again, certain lenders could only lend to the contract in place with the fleet. So as long as they have some sort of commitment, contract commitment from a mega fleet, large fleet, small fleet, they've got something in writing signed off by the safety compliance saying that they will have full-time employment for this many years. A lot of times that's an opportunity also to help finance.
Okay. Brent, you've been working for a while with Daimler.
Yes.
And I remember previously we spoke and you said that Daimler maybe not the best lender at the beginning, but once you fleet, it's a kind of cool option.
I think I get some pretty decent rates, very comparable to most lenders when you're an owner-operator. I think it gives you opportunities because of the ability to pay out early without fees, penalties. It sets up an owner-operator very well. You go on a purchase, and what ends up happening is as they turn those wheels, they start making money. As they make more and more money and pay off that $100,000, they can pay it out at any time without early penalty fees or anything like that. Once they pay it out, obviously that's going to really help them generate a lot of revenues and probably margin in the short term. That's what Daimler does. Daimler sets you up for success as an owner operator. And there's a lot of other companies, financial institutions that do the same. However, as an owner operator, you want that flexibility. You want to be able to get out of that facility, be able to pay it off as fast as you can, and set yourself up for future success. So Daimler, in terms of the owner op side of it, I really like the flexibility of being able to pay out early. And then when it comes to fleets, obviously with anything else, your insurances, anything to do with fleet status, your rates get better, a lot more flexibility in structure, whether it's lease or loan. It gives you an opportunity to do other innovative structures.
Question to Christian. With the new trucks, is it any expectancy that if they're going to go down in the price?
It really depends. We're kind of waiting to see where the exchange rate goes at this exact moment. So we actually have some bets going on at the office to see if we think the exchange rate's going to go up or down from here. In all honesty, talking with my other salesmen, even we're not 100% sure. But as far as it stands right now, with the model year itself is going up at this current exchange rate. Now, if the exchange rate goes down, though, it will end up dropping the price of the truck. But as far as the model year, they are actually adding fees for the 2025 years. It's going up in price in a sense.
But it's jumped. Everyone seen big jump for 30-40% of the price in the last 2 years, and everyone was thinking it's a supply and demand problem. Now when it's going to be oversupply and not too much.
So one thing to keep in mind, Evgeny, is the allocation system.
Yes.
And that allocation is not going away anytime soon.
No.
So different dealerships only have so many trucks to sell. With that being said, if you only have so many trucks to sell, you got to figure out a way. It's a tricky balancing act because with so many trucks, obviously they're going to be sold.
Explain what is allocation.
Allocation is what the manufacturer provides to you. They only give you so many trucks in a given year. Instead of saying, okay, so say demand supply, let's just say demand is everybody wants 20 trucks on the market today, and there's a possibility of, say, selling 1,000 trucks in a year. Well, the manufacturer only gives you 500, half of that. So how do you satisfy now your customers when you don't have as many trucks as you need to supply your market? You just don't have that ability. So they come up with an allocation system that obviously has a pretty big impact and a positive correlation to price. So in that turn, when it comes to the allocation system, if that goes away, then you're going to see price of trucks drop. It's inevitable, but it's going to be in place for probably some time. I know we've had a lot of discussions internally, and it doesn't look like in the next couple of years or so that the allocation is going to disappear.
No drop in price. Want to be owner operator, buy for the price.
It's interesting. You look at what kind of models are out there, the used market, that's dropped in price. And the used will continue from what it looks like right now. The used is dropping. There's a saturation out there, and there's becoming a lot more guys trying to do engine rebuilds to try and keep their existing truck moving and keep trying to invest in what they know. So a lot of guys are increasing their preventative maintenance. They're spending more to keep their existing trucks healthy.
It's making sense. That's how it should be.
And so you're seeing a different model happening today, and then you're seeing a lot of used being sold today. We're putting through a lot of used trucks through Connexion Truck Center, and we're seeing all different brands, like the Freightliners, the Volvos, the Internationals. You're starting to see a pretty big demand for used product now because used is obviously more economical when it comes to an owner-operator. So that's what they're looking to buy.
Christian, what would be the price of a new 2023 or 24 model of a Western Star?
So we'll go with the 57X. That's going to be our most expensive option that we have right now. They're currently going for $235. That's including no extended warranty, with the extended warranty being available. EW4 engine warranty and TC4 chassis warranty as well as available, extra to the $235.
Extra to the 235.
Yeah.
What's included in 235? Any warranty?
In 235, you get your base warranty. So with your base warranty, you get a 1-year chassis warranty, which is 1 year unlimited kilometers. The engine is 2 years unlimited kilometers. And then if you have a Detroit transmission and Detroit axles, you get 5 years, 1.2 million kilometer warranty on that as well.
We need to talk, I guess, just separate on the warranties to make just a video about that.
Yeah, that I'll need to kind of plan something out probably for that. But
How, Brent, the structure of the payment will be like? How many years? 5, 6?
Yeah, so on a new truck, you can go up to 72 months, which is 6 years. You can start with on a purchase. You got 45 days to first payment. This is Daimler, speaking about Daimler specific. And then on a lease, for most part, everybody's doing 30 days. From a payment side of it, your internationals right now, let's just say, are early 2000s per month. Different things, there's options in that payment.
No, let's talk about this 235,
Okay,
brand new Western.
235, okay.
So let's say you're paying 10% down payment, yeah?
Yeah, you're still probably looking at about a $4,500 payment, give or take. You have that ability to do a couple things. You can put more money down, obviously, to reduce the payment, or you can add residual value. Residual values are at the end of the term, so you don't own it free and clear. You're responsible for basically a lump sum payment at the end on your last payment. So that's called the residual value. So there's different ways of driving down payments. Okay, so those are your only ways at the nth degree, but the more healthier is if you have cash to put down. This way, when you get out of the facility, you own it free and clear. That's going to be a very nice down payment for your next truck. The goal is obviously to pay off that facility as fast as possible. Less cost of borrowing.
But no other banks except Daimler will allow you to do it as fast as possible.
No, there are some other lenders out there that will do things, yeah, for sure. And again, a lot is based on character. So if you're strong, you've got strong credit, you've got some sort of background where you've got very strong credit bureau, what ends up happening is some lenders will be a little bit more open to provide flexibility. So, maybe they'll position it where there's less down. They can still put a residual on the back end if they like. And so there's different workarounds, but it's on approved credit.
4,500 per month.
Yeah, that's on new. And that's why from what I've seen over my time is that a lot of owner operators starting out are buying newer used. Your 2000 to say 2022, they're getting into those trucks. And then at least this way they can come up with a structure and a payment that's a lot less than new. And it sets them up properly. And then maybe it's their second truck they buy new.
So the older truck, the international that they had is 800,000.
Some a little bit less than that even too.
Yeah.
500 to 800,000.
Okay, so let's say 100,000 kilometers, is not miles. How you can create a warranty? They can buy from dealership a warranty also.
So as far as a dealership warranty, we wouldn't offer anything specific to the international, like outside of what they can offer, right? So there had been a few internationals we sold in the past where we actually went over, and I think it was an aftermarket warranty you guys had purchased. So they offered an international aftermarket warranty. So that's an option. Another thing is some of these trucks, actually the 21s and the 20s, they still have active Cummins warranty at this exact moment. So that's coming right from the purchase of the vehicles, but they are still active at this time. If you wanted to purchase any extended on top of that, as long as it's still active, we can reach out and have that purchased to any of our used vehicles as well.
So for the used Western Stars and used Freightliners, you can do through the dealership.
Through the dealership.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And our internationals, just give you perspective, we are a Cummins dealer.
So exactly.
And so we do offer Cummins warranty as well.
Yep.
So we can provide a warranty package on our internationals based on Cummins.
Just the Cummins side though, not chassis side. Yeah, engine only. Engine.
Cummins, it's the engine. Yeah,
correct.
So
Yeah.
you can explain.
Yeah.
Okay, and usually all the Freightliners and Western Stars will have a Detroit
That's correct.
at the most.
Prominently Detroit, yeah.
What the best Detroit engine?
We see lots of DD15s, but all Detroits are good. All Detroits are good. But DD15 is the number one that gets sold in most of our trucks.
How many kilometers they can drive without?
It varies, right? I actually was in the service department at one point in time. Obviously, every engine does have a life expectancy, but that does also fall on the driver or the owner, right? You maintain the truck. You look after it, it'll look after you. So, I've seen some trucks go well over 1 million miles or 1 million kilometers without a rebuild. I've seen right around the 1 million marker, 2 rebuilds. So, it's pretty fair. About the 1 million marker is about average to when we'll be doing rebuilds, engine swaps, injectors, things like that.
So one other thing to consider from an owner-operator standpoint is there are different coverages. We talk about the warranty side just right now, but on the payment side, so let's just specifically talk the finance side, there's different options that owner-operators could learn from, and that's GAP is a big, big deal when it comes to the owner-operator base, because the hardest part is you want to protect yourself as an owner-operator, and if you come into one bad, let's just say a crash, accident, something that happens and that truck is deemed written off, what ends up happening is you are still responsible for that payment. You're going to get insurance money back called actual cash value from your insurance provider. However, a lot of times there's a gap. What that means is $100,000 international truck gets crashed, it's deemed written off, and now all of a sudden MPI only gives you $80,000 for that truck today. Well, there's a $20,000 gap you owe back to the finance company and you have to pay them out. Well, that's where gap is going to come in. So there's different protection features behind some of these facilities that you can do gap. You can do accident mechanical downtime, and that's simply when a truck breaks down and it's in the shop for something greater than 3 days.
So GAP, it's additional insurance payment.
Correct. So as an owner-operator, you've got to be mindful of these things, because something I've seen it happen in my time when I worked for Daimler and today with Connexion. And what ends up happening is you guys forget to take gap, and now it's the difference between life or survival when it comes to being an owner-operator. Not a lot of guys can just fork out $30,000-$40,000 just like that, especially on a new truck. You see it a lot where there's a gap difference of about $40,000. Well, you have to
went
right
through
there.
the door.
That's gone.
Yeah.
It depletes your bank account. Your reserve is gone. How do you operate without cash?
Makes sense.
It's a tricky game, but I do see a lot of owner operators. We go through different business models. Cost of ownership models is a big one, and we outline on how it all works. We'll put it on paper, and we need to know a lot about what the owner operator does, the application. Is it teamed? Is it single? What does that customer, what does that owner operator want? And what is comfortable payment? How many revenues does he drive? How much reserve money? How much cash does he have in his bank account to make everything work? So there's a lot of moving parts behind structuring an owner operator for success.
And we want to do it, and we want to structure fleets.
That's right. We want to get them to a fleet. That's what our goal.
Okay, one last question. So you represent and Western Star and Freightliner, and how big of the pie piece of market share is those two brands in Manitoba or all North America?
Huge across North America. Looking at, I think we're seeing numbers somewhere around 40% of the market share at the very least, maybe even just Freightliner itself, and then Western Star on top of that. So, I mean, they are definitely huge market share, and that goes to show you that their products work really well for the customers that do have them and are operating them right now.
So combined total, it was basically everything in Manitoba, it's well over 60%.
Over 60.
That's combined Western Star Freightliner together. And we have an amazing following here in this province, and there is a lot of interest in the Daimler product. The goal of the organization is to always be over 40% combined. That's Western Star Freightliner combined, including chassis. And Daimler does a great job on maximizing our market share right across Canada. We've seen it grow, and it tends to grow over the last 5 years. We've seen it grow usually year over year. So we're very happy with the product, and I think the customer base is too.
Okay, so I'll try to translate everything, and we'll try to share it with our audience, and we'll see the questions. So guys, ask the questions, and I'll make those boys to come here, I don't know, every 2 weeks or every month. We'll see, depends how many questions will be there. So for the future, I already said that I'd like myself and maybe even Christian to do one of those videos that we can upload the list of what's going to be in the warranty and different warranties. What are the topics that we can talk, and if people are interested?
So like you say, I'll just start off with the warranty there. 100%. We can do a step-by-step thing. I can guide the customers through, show them exactly what we would see so that there's nothing hidden. They see exactly what the dealership sees, and we can go step by step. Another thing to remember with these trucks really is preventative maintenance. I came from the service department, as I said before, so we can go over the preventative maintenance to make sure that this truck works hard for you for its entirety of its life. Makes you some money back. You know, we can go over the customization of these trucks, what you can do if you're building a new truck, speccing a new truck, options that you may have to customize used trucks as well if you're purchasing a used truck, but it doesn't have something that you might need. There's a lot of things that we can go over going forward through these meetings.
What Brent mentioned before, we can do the engine rebuild.
Yeah, engine rebuild,
So
some different ideas around maybe you talk about the core, different things that we can do with quarter block and full block and different things that way. There's definitely some ways of discussing preventive maintenance, engine rebuilds, maybe along the same lines.
Yeah, they could almost fall into
They can fall into one another, yeah.
And it's making sense. Once you're a fleet, you can choose a truck that are running successfully and getting to his million. And I want to have some safety on the road, but it's a nice cabin, nice whatever, nice.
Yeah.
Let's rebuild the engine or get a new engine into the truck, and how much it costs, what the options.
He can also finance the engines as well.
Separately, after 1 million kilometers,
Yes.
just that job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, we'll talk later, guys.
All right.
Thank you very much, Evgeny.
Thank you
Really
for having us.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Fantastic.
Okay, see you next time.
Next time.
Thanks, guys.